A really cool
but
one. And they are
Talk to the
a
producer.
lot of those are like
Yeah.
15-hour battery lives. I mean, you could probably do a couple shows on one track.
Yeah, that one makes it really cool.
Hey, Anthony,
Yes.
if you poke your head in studio, will you tell him also that I'll be like 5 minutes?
5 minutes?
Yeah,
Sure.
because
Sounds good.
I'm
Okay.
wait for promos.
we're up.
Right here.
Hey guys,
We're live.
how are you?
Hello.
You recognize these guys, right? Hanson. We got Taylor, we got Zach, we got Isaac.
That's me.
I know you know their names. Okay, so they just performed on Good Day LA, so we thank you guys for coming in.
for having
But
us.
let's chat a little bit more about what's been going on with you all. You got
Yeah.
new music out?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have a new album and a new tour that's going on. It's called String Theory. This is kind of it's been a really big project to put together because it's with symphonies, and so just the arrangement process for arranging
That's
a
a
50
lot.
plus piece symphony is sort of, it's a whole new world. But that was part of why we wanted to do it, because
Yeah.
we've been a band for 25 years, and the reasons we keep wanting to stay together and make
Yeah.
records and go through all the fighting and process that it is to be a band, right?
Yeah.
Is these kind of projects where you get to kind of really challenge yourself and really learn new skills, and so this was a big one.
Can I just ask you, like, I have two sisters, and now we're all in different states because obviously our careers have taken us to different places. We're very close, though. Like, we've had some growing pains in our
Yeah.
lives. Do you guys, have you all had any challenges when it
Yeah,
comes to
absolutely.
making
Plenty.
music in the same recording
Yeah, I
studio?
mean,
you have your own separate life.
Constant. I mean, yes, all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
the one thing about us, and we're pretty different about our processes, and sometimes that means that's why you fight, and other reasons it's what keep you from fighting, because it's
Yeah.
clear, like, he's not interested in messing with that, and that's what
Yeah.
your process is like.
Yeah.
People kind of have their columns. Like, one of the greatest trainings for we've been entrepreneurs. We started a beer company. We've been very independent, and one great training for doing that is realizing that you do need teams.
Yeah.
You can't have everybody playing the drums at the same time. Everybody can't play playing. When in harmony, you have different parts that people play, sing. So
Yeah.
I think that difference in that, kind of different inclinations in some ways kind of keeps it working. But nothing's perfect, and it's just like building anything, any
Yeah.
business, any idea. It takes work, it takes effort, it's challenging. If it's not hard, something's wrong.
Yeah, well, if it's not
sort of
hard-
like, if it's easy, I'm
Right.
like, what's
You're
happening
like,
right
what's
now?
happening? Yeah.
It may be a sign of what's really wrong with us, but I think we all share a perspective that is fighting is really not the bad thing, right?
Yeah.
The idea that you're fighting, it's really what you're fighting about. So we fight all the time, but usually it's about the projects and the creative
The song
direction
we're gonna
of things.
play on the
song we're gonna
show
play
tonight.
today,
Oh,
or
today.
the show tonight. And those kind of fights, I think, are worth having because it shows that you're invested and you really
Yeah.
have a vision for what you want to be doing. Now, if you're fighting over like, oh, you took my sunglasses, like
Yeah,
that's
what my kids fight
that's the stuff that destroys people. But if you're fighting about the process, about the direction, about all those things, that's something to perfect. I mean, learn to be a great fighter so that you can see those ideas,
And stand up
realized.
to your big brother.
Exactly.
So do you guys ever miss like the old stuff? I know, like Where's the Love, Penny and Me.
Yeah.
Isn't there a song from Milwaukee?
Man from Milwaukee.
Man from Milwaukee.
We
Yeah.
bring those songs forward. I mean, I think I would
Actually, in the String Theory show,
Yeah, Where's the Love?
Where's
is
the
in
Love?
Where's the
actually
Love?
plays a really. Where's the Love? That's actually one of my favorite songs in the show.
I think of it like
because
a-
it starts off a cappella.
I mean, it's I think of it like building a sort of a brand identity. It's like you're gonna have they're part of your story. That's part of your like Ralph Lauren. Is designing new jackets, but he still
Sure.
goes back and grabs his original blue jeans jacket. So you're excited and interested because you're creating things all the time, but you're proud of where you've come from. We're not
Right.
ashamed just because something's not what you want to do today. It's not because you're not proud of it. It's because it's something that you've already done that. But we bring those songs forward, and I think our connection with fans and people that may be watching, we've always celebrated and recognized that there's a community that forms around things that you're passionate about, and we
Right.
know that a lot of times, like our music, gives people a chance to come together themselves, not just for these guys, but they get to share.
With their friends.
An interest,
Yeah.
two friends that have a passion for a song or a show or traveling to see an event.
Yeah, I mean that's
Well,
the
you're
thing you
talking
hear a
about your
lot.
sisters, like I'm sure there are things that you all like
Share
equally
interest in.
share interest in. You
Sure,
might go
yeah.
see a band and a scene. Like,
They're all
I'll
texting
meet
me
you.
right now. I cannot believe you're sitting next to Hanson. We went to their concert twice. I'm telling you, to hear those connections, I feel like people. I mean, don't you feel that people grew up with you all?
Oh,
Watch you
absolutely.
all evolve, watch you all
Well,
grow up.
and you have
Yeah.
to be. I think part of what Taylor's talking about is you have to be good custodians of that. Like,
Yeah.
you recognize that though it's your song. I mean, you wrote it, and right, that belongs to you. it's still, when you put it out into the world, people create their own connections with the songs. And a lot of times that's about the people they heard it with or the place they were. And so you don't, when you revisit those songs, when you bring them into what you're doing right now, you want to do it with a little bit of respect for those relationships that it's built. And
because
so,
you don't want to break it so much that you're disowning it or
you
something.
always want to, you want to add to what you love about it, not try and change it.
What's your number one most requested song anytime you guys are together?
Wow.
You mean among actual fans?
Yeah.
It's an interesting question.
I think it probably
This is the
varies
funny
from
thing.
show to
Requests
show.
actually usually come from people that actually know you and know what you usually don't play.
Yeah, so
Because,
it'd be like,
so-
I want you to play the B-side from this thing. And you're like,
because
okay.
people
You're
don't
like-
usually request the most known song unless you're in sort of a non-fan environment, right? If you're actually at as a band on the road, the audience never screams out, play on Bob. Like they're gonna scream out, play Every Word I Say, or play I Will Come to You, or play songs, Cry. Play songs that are like, I don't hear that. But I was gonna say too, like thinking about kind of keeping things going, I think most artists are really very blue collar. Like we actually have to show up physically. I can't outsource what we just did. I can't be like CEO of piano. Here's the 5 people in my department that can play it. And maybe some people have done that. Like, there are artists that have done that, but
The Black Eyed Peas make an Android.
but the thing, it's what we actually physically do. It's like actually it's like medicine. And music, like to get to go and travel the world and play for audiences and have people in your lifetime as an artist like love something, share that with you is amazing. I'm a huge Nick Drake fan. I don't know if you know Nick Drake, but I was listening to him on our driving over here, and love his music. And he didn't sell more than 5,000 copies of his album Pink Moon in his lifetime, and his since then he sold 2.5 million. And so you go like, just to have a fan base that's followed you, that's joined you, that's shared that with you. That's such an uncommon thing. So
Well,
I think that's
something
half
that's
of the battle
important.
is like.
I think it's important to remember there is this long tail. And that's part of what we're talking about. Like when you think of a song like Bop, right? That's probably our most famous song. Bop will have this long tail, and people who
knows who's gonna discover it.
knew it the moment it came out,
Right.
and fans who will potentially discover it, tomorrow night
I feel
for the
like
first
there's
time.
gonna be a remake.
Right?
I feel like someone is gonna redo it.
Well, but and like the version of Bop from '97 and the version with the symphony tomorrow night, like those have very different feelings because one's with a symphony, right? And they're 20 some odd years apart. But I think the core of it, everybody who loves Bop is going to love it when they hear it with the symphony because it keeps the heart of what's really there about what's great about that song. And then it just says, what if we reimagined it if it came from a different place, a different time?
Music also gives you a chance to reinvent things actively, not just like we know people are going to discover this, like they're going to discover a new song, but to actually say, you know what, I'm going to bring this song back to life by putting it in a show. Like we played the song Me, Myself, and I this morning. That was on 2 albums ago. But I've heard fans like even that would say they're fans. They're like, I love that song. It's like, well, maybe you skipped that album.
Oh yeah.
But you heard the album before that,
right.
or you heard
definitely get
or the
that.
one after
Right.
it even.
Or you didn't even
Or
like
you
that
didn't,
version.
or you didn't hear that
Yeah.
version. And so you have a
Sure.
chance to always be curating. It's like you have this, you have the painting that you're going to do, and then you own the gallery, so you can decide what to put on the walls. You can decide, hey, we want to actually put this one up front this time.
So you guys are performing tomorrow night.
Yeah.
8 o'clock, Greek Theater.
Yeah.
You're on tour now. When is the album out?
The album is out November 9th.
November
And
9th.
the album is a
double
recorded version
Yeah.
Okay.
of the show. So it's a double record, front to back, the same as the
23
concert
songs.
experience.
There's
Yeah.
some because the songs were all chosen based on their lyrics and based on connecting to this story we wrote that became String Theory. So it's this crazy mix of really deep cut Hanson songs, brand new songs that were written for the show, and then classic
Some
songs,
songs,
sort of
yeah.
Hanson.
Okay, and before we let you guys go, I just want to update everybody that lives have definitely changed. You all are all
Yeah.
married. Everybody's
Yes.
got kids.
Yes.
Taylor's got a baby on the way. He's 8 months pregnant, actually.
He looks
I know it's not showing.
Carry it well.
So how has life changed for each and every one of you? Obviously, your wife is having another baby.
Yeah, we're just amazingly blessed and totally overwhelmed and having a good time.
Is it grandma that stays with the kids when you're on the road?
We do have close family. We have,
Yeah.
brothers and sisters, cousins. I mean, there's a lot of cousins between. There's like
Oh, yeah.
14 cousins.
What
Well,
about you,
and our wife network becomes, they obviously we go on the road for months at a time, and so thankfully our
They're like
wives
army
have
wives
become
or
close
something.
friends.
Yeah.
I have 4 kids, and life is crazy. We what is so much has happened depending on when I'm updating you from. But I think the main thing is we continue to do this and love this and
Very good.
never stop.
And Isaac, how about you? You guys just celebrated, is it 12 years?
Yeah. Oh, you saw my Instagram post. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like,
Oh,
is it 12? Because I thought
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
16.
Oh,
Are you 16
Yeah.
years?
Yeah.
Yes.
16?
Yeah.
I did my
Yeah.
research,
Coming
y'all.
up on 17.
Yeah, no, my wife and I just celebrated 12 years of marriage, and I think
You getting the
marriage
hang
is
of it
marriage.
now?
Yeah, we're getting the hang of it. We're getting the
It
hang of
only
it. I mean,
took about 12 years, and
Well,
I
no,
think
well,
we
that
finally
was my-
like
Because
each
you
other.
become a different person. You evolve, I would think,
They should
right?
tell people that at the
together.
beginning.
Yeah.
Don't bail on this after a couple years because it's basically not designed for short term. Like this is like buying an old, this is like a beautiful car that's going to get better with age.
It's like
you
making
don't want to
beans
resell
from
it.
dry beanstalk. You just
Yeah.
it's gonna take a couple hours.
It's good. Not good. It's gumbo. It's not good
So, do any of your
overnight.
kids want to go on tour with you guys? Do any of them want to dabble in music? Or
there's definitely a few of them that kind
Absolutely.
of
I
pining
would
for
say
that.
that there is definitely a family creative genes, and the
Definitely.
question of whether they choose to do it or not, that'll just
There's
be
all
up to them. I know
personality.
Tate's kids are the oldest, so they've shown a little more, I think, the drive for music, but.
Definitely, yeah.
It's there for them. There's lots of instruments all over the place. We're from Oklahoma. We have a big studio in Oklahoma.
Our
Lots of-
background will either encourage them or completely stamp out that
Right.
possibility.
And they'll be like, I
Completely.
do not want to have anything
Yeah.
to do with
And
that.
interestingly, it might be one brother does it and the other
Yeah.
one runs away from it.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard from one of my sons, like, no, I don't want to be an artist. I want to control the artist. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
who are you?
Who are
And
you?
he's all
Dr.
overlord.
Dr.
Little
Evil.
boss.
So let me ask you, so he must take after your wife then?
Yes.
She wears
No,
pants?
actually, it's like
Is she
Taylor.
wearing
It's
pants?
actually like Taylor, just without the artistic gene.
He just sees he just sees dollar signs. He's like, man, okay, there's our business guy.
They're like, there he is.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you guys, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
It's great to have you all here at Good Day LA. If you missed our performance earlier, we'll go ahead and post it, but we want to thank, let's see, our Mercury Insurance concert series and all of that jazz for this interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
All of
you
you.
guys, have a good one. Go
Thank
see
you.
them.